There's something different about your eyes, isn't there? People may never say it out loud, but they feel it. They glance at you, and it's like something ancient is looking back. Something that sees beyond the mask they wear. They feel seen. Exposed. Uncovered. And they don't know why. But you do, because you've always known your eyes weren't just organs of sight. They are instruments of truth. Chosen one. This is no accident. Your gaze was designed by God to do more than look. It was created to reveal, to unearth what others hide, to silence lies without saying a word, to awaken dormant spirits just by being present. You see things others ignore. You feel things others deny. And when your eyes meet theirs, something shifts. Walls crack. Fears surface. Truths long buried rise like smoke in the fire of your presence. This is what they don't understand. You don't just see people. You read them. You don't just look at the world. You decode it, because your vision isn't human. It's sacred. It's encrypted with divine perception. Heaven embedded codes in your iris, keys to unlock what others can't even sense. That's why your gaze lingers. That's why your presence feels like prophecy. And yet, most of the world has no idea what happens when they cross paths with a chosen one. But today, they'll learn. Today, you'll understand what makes your eyes not just rare, but dangerous to illusion and holy to truth. Stay. Because the truth we're about to uncover will not only explain your eyes, it will forever change how you see yourself. And if this is already resonating in your spirit, it's because it was meant for you. Leave a like as a sign of spiritual agreement. Subscribe if your soul knows this path is yours, and comment 99 below, because the veil is lifting, and you're about to step into the final revelation coded into your divine sight. Now, let us begin. There is something ancient living behind your eyes, something older than this life, older than this body, older than time itself. Chosen one, long before your first breath, your essence was woven from a realm not of this earth.
You were born carrying a frequency, divine, encrypted, untamed, and that frequency didn't simply settle in your aura. It concentrated in your eyes, those radiant gateways between dimensions. They are not just windows to the soul, they are mirrors of the infinite.
When people look into your eyes, they expect to see you. But what they see instead is themselves, stripped of illusion. And that is what terrifies them. Your eyes were forged in sacred silence, in that realm before incarnation, where angels whisper blueprints and destinies are sealed with fire. God took a piece of eternal awareness and embedded it directly into your gaze. That's why you don't look at things the same way others do. You don't scan a room, you read it. You don't just observe people, you see through them. Your eyes decipher pain without needing a story. They detect deception without evidence. They recognize brokenness hiding behind smiles. And when someone dares to hold your gaze for more than a moment, something inside of them shifts. It's not always visible, but it's undeniable. Some feel a strange sense of calm, as if a burden they've carried for years has suddenly been acknowledged. Others feel exposed, like their deepest thoughts are being read aloud in a room full of silence. But either way, they never forget your eyes. What you carry is not just intuition. It is memory. The memory of realms where truth is pure and energy never lies. Your gaze remembers things the human mind cannot. That's why you sometimes look at someone and know what they're going through, even if they say nothing. That's why you can meet a stranger and instantly feel whether their soul is genuine or masked. That's why your vision haunts liars and comforts the broken, because your eyes were calibrated by heaven to detect distortion, to dismantle illusion, to awaken destiny. And yet, most people walk around blind to this sacred technology. They think the power of the chosen lies in words, in charisma, in action. But your greatest weapon is quiet. It's silent. It doesn't yell. It stares. Until darkness breaks and truth can no longer pretend to hide. You were born with a gaze that remembers who you are, even when you forget. Even when the world tried to blind you. Even when trauma clouded your sight. That divine light inside your eyes never dimmed. It waited until the moment you would remember what your eyes were always meant to do. Not just see the world, but read its soul. And now, as the veil between dimensions thins, as the spiritual war intensifies, as deception floods every corner of society, heaven is reactivating that gift inside you. Your sight is evolving, and your eyes are beginning to unlock a vision meant only for those called to pierce the illusion. But here's the part no one talks about. There's a hidden cost to carrying eyes like yours, a sacred burden, a silent consequence. And once you understand it, you'll never see your gaze the same way again. Are you ready to know what it is? Good. Because what comes next will challenge everything you thought you understood about the way you see. There is a reason people get nervous when your eyes meet theirs. It's not because you're intimidating. It's because their soul recognizes something that their ego can't hide from. Your eyes, chosen one, are not ornaments. They are detectors, spiritual scanners that pick up on frequencies others pretend don't exist. And when someone is standing in front of you, smiling, lying, performing, your spirit already knows. Because while they're rehearsing their script, your eyes are listening to what their energy is whispering behind the words. You don't need confessions. You don't need proof. You don't need time. All you need is one glance, and suddenly, what they tried to keep buried starts to rise. This is the true power of your gaze. It disrupts disguise. It shakes false foundations. It awakens the subconscious. People who are hiding brokenness often avoid looking you in the eye. Not because you did anything wrong, but because you do something right. You hold a mirror up to their spirit, and most people are not ready to see what's really staring back. But the awakened ones, they crave your presence. They search for that gaze, because somewhere deep down, they know your eyes offer something rare. Clarity. In a world addicted to pretending, your vision is a divine interruption. You don't just expose others. You unlock them. You allow the truth inside them to take its first breath. And sometimes, that scares them. Because once the truth is seen, it can't go unseen. Once the mask cracks, it never fits the same again. But this is why your presence is so uncomfortable and irresistible at the same time. You carry an energy that says, I see through you, and I still choose to stand here. That undeniable mix of discernment and grace is what sets you apart. You don't shame the hidden, you reveal it, and then offer the space for it to transform. This is why your energy shifts rooms before you speak, why conversations shift tone when you enter, why some people stutter when they greet you or avoid eye contact completely, because truth recognizes truth, and when it's not ready, it trembles. But when it is ready, it clings to you like a lifeline. This is why you've been placed in specific people's paths, not to comfort their illusions, but to gently collapse them. Not to blend in, but to be a walking revelation. Your eyes don't just see reality. They summon it. They pull truth out of hiding and demand it be dealt with. And maybe that's why you've felt misunderstood your whole life. Because people can't explain the feeling of being seen by something divine. But they never forget it. Still, there's a cost. There's something this gift requires of you. A discipline few talk about. Because revealing hidden truth isn't just about others. Sometimes it turns inward. Sometimes your eyes begin to expose you. And when that moment comes, when your own gaze confronts your own darkness, what will you do? Because the gift that sees others also sees yourself. And the next revelation won't be about them. It'll be about what you're still carrying, that heaven is now ready to expose, ready to look within, because the most sacred unveiling is still ahead. There is something sacred that moves when you look at someone with love, not attachment, not interest, but pure divine compassion. Because when you, chosen one, extend your gaze with no agenda, you are not just being kind. You are transmitting energy. You are activating light codes. You are reconnecting souls to a truth they forgot they ever carried. Your eyes don't simply observe. They vibrate. They shimmer with frequencies that speak to the deepest places in the human soul. Places untouched by words, unreachable by logic, unseen by even the most trained minds. You were born with this healing current, not in your hands. Not in your voice, but in your gaze. It is a frequency that can disarm the most hardened hearts, not because it forces, but because it remembers. It remembers the original blueprint of every soul it meets. And when your eyes lock with someone else's, their soul feels it. Even if their mind doesn't understand what's happening, that's why people cry when you look at them with stillness. Not because of what you said, but because of what you saw. And more than that, because of what you didn't judge. The broken parts inside them finally felt witnessed. The burden they've carried, sometimes for years, was suddenly acknowledged, without them needing to explain. They weren't pitied. They weren't analyzed. They were seen, and that, in itself, was healing. You don't heal by trying. You heal by being. By showing up as yourself. By allowing your soul to speak through your silence. By allowing your energy to do what your words cannot. When you look with compassion, your eyes open a spiritual doorway, a portal, and heaven steps in through it. In that moment, the person in front of you isn't just looking at you. They're standing in the presence of divine remembrance. Their soul whispers, "I know this light. I've felt this before. I remember who I was. Before the world broke me." That's the power you carry. A glance from you can feel like a lifetime of therapy. A moment of presence can unravel years of shame. You didn't train for this. You didn't earn it. It was embedded into your being before you entered this realm. But there's something you must understand now. Because this gift, this healing frequency, it's not neutral. It either awakens the best in people or triggers the shadows they've kept buried. And this is why some people have lashed out at you after you were kind. This is why you've been punished for your silence. This is why you've been avoided after simply looking at someone with love, because your gaze activates truth, and not everyone is ready to meet themselves, especially not through your eyes. You've probably seen it happen. You offer presence, and someone breaks down. You offer stillness, and someone spirals. You offer compassion, and someone walks away, offended. It's not you. It's the mirror you become when heaven flows through you. But here's the twist. Even those who reject it, remember it. They go home and can't shake the feeling. They see your eyes when they close theirs, because something in them was unlocked, and once a door like that is opened, it can never be fully shut again. You are not a healer in the traditional sense. You don't need titles. You don't need rituals. You carry the vibration of healing in your very presence. But that power must now evolve. Because the next stage of your mission isn't just about awakening others, it's about learning how to protect the energy flowing through your eyes. Because the more potent it becomes, the more sacred it is to guard it. And in the next moment, you'll discover why that protection is no longer optional, but a divine imperative. The next shift is not about expanding your sight. It's about shielding it. Because something, or someone, has been trying to drain what flows through your eyes, and you're about to find out why. You've seen it. You've felt it. The shift in energy when your eyes meet theirs. The pause in conversation. The nervous laugh. the glance that quickly turns away, as if they just saw something they weren't supposed to see. Chosen one, your gaze carries an ancient frequency, and the world reacts. Some stare, captivated. Some smile, then tremble. Some avoid you altogether, unsure of why being near you feels like standing under judgment, even when you haven't said a word. But it's not you they fear, it's the truth inside you. Your eyes are not just features, they are triggers. They provoke revelation, and revelation is rarely comfortable. For those aligned with truth, your presence is medicine. They feel drawn to you, not just curious, but spiritually homesick. They look into your eyes and feel like they've found something they forgot existed. Authenticity, a mirror that doesn't distort, a light that doesn't flatter, but frees. But for those walking in illusion, your gaze is a threat, not because you attack, but because you see. And seeing, in a world addicted to hiding, is an act of divine rebellion. You've likely been misunderstood, misjudged, labeled as too intense, too serious, too much. Not because of what you do, but because of what you reveal just by being. You expose what people don't want to face, the lies they tell themselves, the masks they've grown attached to, the emptiness they've buried under performance. And in the presence of your truth, their falsehoods start to crack. This is why some people lash out at you without cause. Why they gossip about you. Why they fabricate reasons to create distance. Because it's easier to reject the mirror than confront the reflection. But you must understand this deeply. Their reactions are not your reflection. They are revelations of their own soul's condition. They tell you more about them than about you. Your gaze simply activates what's already inside. For some, it awakens dormant love. For others, it triggers buried shame. For some, it ignites courage. For others, it stirs resentment. But in all cases, your eyes are doing exactly what they were designed to do. Awaken, expose, illuminate. And it's not just strangers. Sometimes it's people close to you, family, friends, partners, people who once celebrated you, suddenly retreat. They say things like, "You've changed, you're too deep, you think you're better than everyone." But what they're really saying is, being around your clarity makes me aware of my own confusion. Your light is showing me parts of myself I've ignored. I don't recognize who I am when I'm standing next to who you've become. Chosen one, the more you ascend, the more reactions you will provoke. Your vision sharpens, your frequency intensifies, and the world begins to sort itself around you. Some will rise with you, some will fall away. But you are not here to adjust your sight so others feel safe in their blindness. You are not here to dim your light so others can remain asleep. You were called to shine, even when it's inconvenient, even when it makes you a target, even when it means walking alone for a season. Because every soul who looks into your eyes and sees themselves clearly, even just once, has been marked by something eternal. And whether they embrace it now or later, the seed has been planted. But what if I told you, there's someone watching you even now, someone you've never met, who's been affected by your gaze without ever locking eyes with you? Because the world isn't just reacting to you in the physical. There are unseen forces responding to your energy in ways you haven't yet realized. And in the next moment, we go beyond the veil to discover who's really watching and why. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, everything around you fades. Noise disappears, time slows, and in that sacred silence, recognition ignites. Two chosen ones, two souls that carry the same divine frequency, finally remember each other. There are no introductions, no need for context, just a gaze, and then a silent explosion of eternity echoing in the present. Because when your eyes lock with another soul marked by God, it's not just sight, it's reunion, a reunion that defies logic, a reunion that precedes this lifetime. In that instant, both of you are no longer standing on earth. You are standing in the memory of the mission, the sacred agreement made before this incarnation, the vow to awaken humanity, the pact sealed in the realm of light, long before flesh and bone ever formed. And the eyes remember. They always remember. You're not looking at a stranger. You're looking at a reflection of your own fire. Your own pain, your own calling. You see your wounds mirrored. You see your victories echoed. You see your divine purpose duplicated in a different body. And you know, without words, without effort. This is one of your kind. There's no performance, no competition, no need to prove who you are, because they already see you, and you see them. It's not attraction. It's not chemistry. It's cosmic recognition. And in that moment, something ancient moves through both of you. The mission stirs. The flame intensifies. Your spirit speaks. I've found you again. This moment is so rare because few chosen ones are truly activated at the same time. Some are still asleep. Some are hidden. Some are fighting their battles alone in silence. But when two awakened ones collide, even if only for a moment, the entire atmosphere changes. People around feel it. The environment shifts. Time bends, and the universe itself leans in and whispers, they've reconnected, because this is not just about eye contact. It's about soul alignment, divine synchronization. The sacred mirror awakening the warrior inside you, reminding you, you are not alone in this battle. But here's the twist that few understand. This moment doesn't always lead to friendship. It doesn't always end in partnership. Sometimes it's fleeting. Sometimes it's painful, because the intensity is overwhelming. Two flames so powerful that standing too close for too long can burn through every layer of ego. And sometimes, that's too much for the human vessel to carry. But whether it lasts a second or a lifetime, the impact is eternal. You will never see the world the same way after locking eyes with someone who carries the same sacred light. Because in them, you saw God confirming your mission. And now, you may be wondering, have you met one of them already? And didn't recognize it at the time, or are they still out there, waiting for that exact divine moment where your eyes will meet and the fire will rise again? Because the final mystery of your eyes is not just who you see, it's what your eyes were always meant to unlock. And in the last breath of this message, we'll reveal it. Don't blink now. The greatest revelation is just one breath away. Chosen one, your eyes are not random. They were not shaped by chance. They are not just part of your face. They are part of your mission. They are living evidence that heaven trusted you, above billions, with sight beyond sight. Not to entertain, not to impress, but to pierce the veil, to confront illusion, to awaken the sleeping, to hold the line between what is false and what is eternal. You were never meant to blend in, never meant to be accepted, never meant to look through the world with passive eyes. You were meant to see differently, to feel what others deny, to detect what others pretend doesn't exist, to carry a light that makes darkness tremble, and the world feels it. That's why they stare. That's why they flinch. That's why they remember you long after you've left the room, because what they saw in your eyes wasn't you. It was God staring back through you, silent, holy, unapologetic. So from now on, when someone says, your eyes are intense, smile. When they whisper, there's something about your gaze. Nod because you know, and they've just touched eternity without realizing it. You are not just here to observe life. You are here to awaken it. Your eyes don't just reflect light. They emit it. They don't just see pain. They transform it. They don't just witness truth. They summon it into the open. Every soul that dares to meet your gaze walks away marked, shifted, seen, changed. This is your gift. This is your responsibility. And this is your proof that you are more than a person. You are a portal, a vessel, a divine spark wrapped in flesh, with a mission to see what others miss. And to never close your eyes to what heaven reveals. So now, if this message pierced something sacred inside you, don't leave this moment without sealing it. Comment below, "My eyes carry divine truth." Let the universe hear it. Let heaven witness your agreement. Let every sleeping soul who stumbles across your words remember what they've forgotten. The chosen are not waiting. The chosen are watching, and their vision is unstoppable. Your light is awake now. Don't ever dim it again. The world is about to see through new eyes, yours.